Three, two, one. And just like that, we are back. Another episode of the Beerly Hoops podcast here at the Beerly Sports Network. I'm Trev Scott, per usual, joined with YOTB Dort, per usual. Stop playing with me, Dort. How's it going, bro? It's a late night, bro. This late night pod going.
It's only 8 o'clock.
For you. On the West Coast, Best Coast. We got a good episode today. Today we're doing the top 10 overrated players currently in the NBA. It's our hater episode. Going with our boy Jerome, a.k.a. Philly Dame. If you're on NBA Twitter, you probably argued with him before. But yo, before we get into all that, before we get into NBA, how you doing? How's life? How's it hanging?
I don't know when this happened, but on Apple Podcasts, we are at 4.9 stars.
Oh, we're up.
We're up. That's impressive, bro. 30, I think 4 reviews.
Excellent.
4.9 stars. That means y'all.
The year of the beer, man.
I know.
We're probably over football now. I think football is 4.8 and we're 4.9. So
let's check their ass.
Most highly rated no, I bet hockey is like 5.0. I bet they got like 3 ratings or something. Yeah, but I know football is like 4.8.
No, football is 4.6 stars with 21 ratings. So that's how you know. That's how you know we clear all.
The number one highest rated Beerly Sports podcast, the Beerly Hoops podcast. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Beerly Hoops, at Beerly Sports. We got all the other sports up in there, but we'll save the long plugs for the end. You got anything you want to plug? I know you love talking about the Discord community, love talking about TikTok. Tell the people what they need to know before we get into this hoop.
I'm going to plug. I don't want to plug everything, bro, because last episode was like 10 minutes of plugs.
I know, bro. That's why I said we're going to save it to the end.
Yeah, we'll save it until we switch. We'll have a little commercial break because we're recording this in 2 separate parts.
Facts.
But shout out to the Discord. Let's shout out the Discord today, man. The Discord, we got the best community there. They're always killing the game, man. We got an actual question from the Discord. We could kick it off to start the pod. 1-on-1, 3 dribbles. Shout out Paco for this question. Who you taking? KD, Tracy McGrady, or Melo? All in their primes.
KD, Tracy McGrady, and Carmelo Anthony. I would say the first one I would kick off would probably be Melo. No disrespect, but I'm Tracy and prime KD. How tall is Tracy? 6'8"? 7?
6, 7, 8. He ain't no 7-footer.
I would say KD, but I don't think Tracy is a wrong answer.
I got Melo.
Shout out to Auburndale. You got who, Melo?
Melo's too big, bro.
I thought it was going to be an open-ended question. I was going to say PG.
Open-ended?
Yeah.
Just like all the relationships I'm in.
Facts. Mm-hmm. It's the year of the beer. It's the year of the women. Without further ado, the best segment in the world, the best NBA segment in the world, the Dort Report. What do you got for us tonight? What do you got cooked up?
What? How's the song go?
I have no idea. Come on. I forgot. It's gonna be there though.
Cut it. Cut the pod.
Turn it off.
Turn it off. After all that, everyone's favorite segment, your Dort Report, reporting live from sunny Chino Hills, California, Chi-Town. We got a lot on the news today, a lot on the docket. To start, most new news, Draymond wants a max contract, and he said he's willing to go somewhere else to get it. The Warriors probably aren't going to pay him it. What do you guys think? What do you think?
Is somebody going to pay him a max?
What do you think about the whole situation? Do you think he gets the max? Do you think the Warriors should give him the max? Do you think Draymond deserves a max?
I think Draymond deserves the most amount of money possible, probably in Golden State. That's where he's most effective. That's where he's most useful. But I think the max talk is kind of a prideful thing. You know, Draymond, he's one of the most prideful players in the NBA. I think that's definitely a pride thing because I don't have dude's stats pulled up in front of me, but I think he averaged like under 7.5 points a game. That's not max anywhere, anything. I mean, I know he's got rings. He's a good defender. He's important to Steph's game, but max money, nah. especially when they're going to have a lot of mouths to feed coming up. They got a lot of good young players on that team. And then, they're going to obviously have to pay guys like Andrew Wiggins, Steph, play for the next 5, 6, 7 years. If all's going according to plan for the Warriors. But Dre, I don't know. That's really interesting. I know he's going to talk about it a lot on his podcast. Not to promote that. Don't listen to that. Listen to us. But yeah, that's very interesting. I know you're a certified Draymond Green hater, and this is the top 10 overrated show. I feel like he's going to be in your list, but no teasers, no spoilers. What do you think? What do you think about the whole situation?
I think Mr. Green, I think he deserves a max contract. I think the Warriors should pay him.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
He's very important to that team.
I think he's the thing
glue?
with him is like if Draymond is out, like that's gonna fuck up the locker room, And you don't want to do that. Draymond's gonna get what he wants at the end of the day because he's a big baby. Maybe on the court he isn't a max player, but what he brings to the team makes him a max
intangibles. Player. That's crazy. Is this Draymond praise coming from you?
Nah, fuck that. I'm just a basketball facade.
Okay. You call it how you see it.
I see it how I call it,
Okay.
Shout out D Green. Get your money, big fella.
But you know how they say, what do they say? Shoot for the stars. Even if you don't make it, you're on the moon. So even if he doesn't get the max, he's gonna get a big payday, and he's due for one. 4 rings, part of a legacy. So max or no max, he's gonna get paid.
We're about to see his ass in your team, Orlando, because they're the only one that could offer him a max contract.
I feel like the Pistons could.
No.
Maybe.
That would be.
They got a lot of money in 2K.
You want Cade and Draymond on the same team? Come on.
No, I don't. I just think they could afford it. Draymond on any other team would be weird, though. Like, you think this man's taking 20 shots on another team?
I would want him to, bro, just so that he could still average like 9 points, taking 20 shots. And then
imagine he leaves and he's back to like 2016 Draymond's putting up like 32 and 15. Oh, nah, he wants to go play with LeBron.
My top 10 overrated list is gonna be it's gonna be beautiful, bro.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be one of my favorite episodes.
I want to look back on it during the season and be like, damn, I went 10 for 10 because all these dudes are bums and y'all talk crazy about all of them.
Nah.
I'm praying. It's another praying on downfall week here at Beerly.
I know some of your list is gonna piss me off, but we'll get there when we get there. My list is gonna piss you off too, so touche.
As long as Russ isn't on there, I'm straight.
No teasers, no spoilers.
No teasers. Jimmy Butler got those hair extensions. What'd you think about those?
Bro, you know what's crazy? I saw the picture and I'm like, that looks a lot like Jimmy Butler. Who is that? And I'm like, what? I really don't know what to say about that.
He should play.
I don't know. Huh?
He should play in them.
Bro, it doesn't look like him. You know how there's the fake Drake and the fake Lil Durk? Yeah. This looks like the fake Jimmy Butler. Like,
nah, the fake Lil Durk looks just like Lil Durk.
Facts.
It's actually crazy because I seen a video of the fake Lil Durk dissing someone. I was like, damn, can't believe Durk said all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then academics was like, fake Lil Durk.
The fake Drake is just a bozo.
Yeah. It's like the fake Lil Dorts on Twitter.
I would love to see him playing it though.
What?
Jimmy, the dreads.
Yeah, I would too. That would be lit. Preseason at least.
Yeah, and unless he starts sucking, then I'm sure he'll. I don't know. That kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know.
He gonna be a dog. You know how Jimmy gets down. Kyrie Irving said he'll stay in Brooklyn regardless of the KD. Fuck, dude, I got gas today. Regardless of KD, Kyrie staying. I love it, bro. I just watched. What was I watching? I watched the game where Kyrie popped off against
Orlando.
No, San Antonio a couple years ago. And that man just different, bro. Like, how do you score like 57 with LeBron on the court?
Yeah, he's a beast. He's like when he's hot, he's probably one of my favorite players in the league to watch. Most entertaining. He could score all three levels. He could break anybody down. He could finish. He could shoot. He could play defense too, even when he's on. Kyrie, got a lot of love for Kyrie. Kyrie better not be on your list. But as far as staying there without KD, it's crazy now he wants to, you know what I'm saying? You know, the whole not getting the vaccine, which is, you know, is whatever. And then the whole falling apart with James Harden and then the falling apart with the front office. But now that all that is gone, you know, KD's requested a trade. James Harden's gone. They got swept in the first round. He's like, yeah, I'll stay. It's just, it's funny to me, but
I like it, bro. I
I
think
like
yeah,
it too.
fuck with KD.
You think he regrets leaving Cleveland ever or no?
I bet he does.
Yeah.
Because I think him staying in Brooklyn now is him saying like, all right, I want to prove that I could win.
Mm-hmm.
I want to prove I'm not some LeBron shadow, you know? Because
I want to see him play. I want to see him play at least like 60, 65 games this year.
Other than LeBron Cleveland years, Kyrie's never went on a playoff run, right?
No.
Boston, he was hurt. Brooklyn, he was hurt. He didn't play in Cleveland without no, because he forced Braun out of Cleveland.
Right, he left first, and then Braun had to play with IT.
Crazy. Yeah.
That was so bad, dude. IT was just like Boston was like his team. Like he fit there. That was his that was how it was gonna work out. Like he's one of those guys where like you switch teams and it's just not gonna be the same. Isaiah Thomas. That city was his heart. Just wasn't the same in Cleveland. That was a fleece. But it didn't work out for either one of them. So
speaking of Boston.
Okay.
Jaylen Brown.
And speaking of Brooklyn.
And Brooklyn. And Isaiah Thomas. We don't got shit to do with Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, I was like, how is he going to tie this?
Nah, Jaylen Brown, KD stuff, bro. I think this is so interesting. Like this is a great offseason conversation. The whole Jaylen Brown for KD. They're saying Brooklyn wanted Marcus Smart too. So if you were Boston, would you trade Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart and like probably a couple picks for KD?
The only two players I have to give up are Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm. They said Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and like Derek White.
Oh, I think I did see Derek White on there. That changed it a little bit, not that much, because Derek White is a big part of their depth. And if you're only getting rid of two pieces, and then picks, that's a W for Boston. I do it for Boston. But Derek White, I mean, I know they did just get Malcolm Brogdon, but I mean, having Brogdon, I mean, just all those guards is really amazing. And I know Celtics fans, they were kind of upset with him kind of shopping Jaylen Brown after the playoffs and finals he just had. And I know a lot of Celtics fans were saying a ring with Jaylen Brown would mean so much more than a ring with KD. So, I mean, which obviously it would, but I don't know. I feel like I'd be happy either way. I'm not a fan of either one of those teams. It would be extremely entertaining either way. I mean, I think the Celtics, with their current roster, not making any trades, are a top 3 seed in the East and could easily make another finals run. But, you know, KD getting traded is going to be entertaining, you know, no matter what happens. And KD and Tatum on the same team. Could you imagine them working out together every day?
We need the clicks, bro. We need KD on. We need the clicks.
Facts.
But nah, Jason Tatum, the way he playmaked in the playoffs this year with KD.
Facts, especially when the shots weren't falling. That was, I mean, he's only 19. No, I'm just he's 23, and he, you know, the shots weren't falling, and he went out there and had, I think, 11 assists in the second half of a finals game, which is, you know, very mature. And to be able to do that when KD's on your team is amazing. But like I mean, I haven't said it in a few episodes, but I was really pushing like a Jason Tatum top 3 MVP next year. That would change a lot if KD's on the team, I think. But well, you know, it's probably, you know, you want to average 28, 29, or you want to up your chances in getting a ring. I wouldn't say guarantee getting a ring because KD just got swept in the first round, but I don't know. It's very interesting, and I hope there's more speculation, more talk over the next upcoming days, upcoming weeks about it, because I'd like to see what people think about that and just all the possible scenarios that could come out of a trade like that. I do like Marcus Smart though. He's another player that I don't historically like Marcus Smart, but after this year, I like him, especially what I saw from him offensively this year. I think he put in about 16 and a half, maybe 17 points a game. So
So if you're Boston, would you do that trade? Would you trade JB, Smart, Derek White, and 2 firsts for Kevin Durant?
I'd have to think about that. The first one you said about Derek White, when you had Derek White not in the trade, I would have said yes. Not that Derek White was great because he stunk it up in the finals, but he's a quality player, quality rotational guy, especially being able to play behind Malcolm Brogdon. That doesn't matter though. For KD, nah, don't do it. Be snobby, be Boston, be ballsy, be Rocky's from Philly. Who's the guy from? Be Mark Wahlberg as fuck and just say, nah, we can do it ourselves. We don't need KD. We got Jaylen Brown. We got Marcus Smart. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it. Keep it. Huh?
Let me change your mind. Imagine an NBA Finals. That's Lakers versus Celtics, Bron versus KD, Westbrook versus KD. That's fire.
That's fire. Need a healthy
AD. AD versus the Time Lord.
Low-key, those are some good battles too. Like AD can score on anybody, but Time Lord's a very good matchup for AD.
In 15 years, like kids are gonna think Robert Williams was the coldest when you're like telling them like
that highlight tape.
Not even the highlight tape, bro. When you're like, yeah, and the Celtics had Time Lord, they'd be like, Time Lord.
Be like, yeah, I named a cat after him, a stray cat.
Robert Time Lord Williams. That's a fire nickname. They got Time Lord on that squad.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be fire. That Lakers or Celtics rig it. And to people that like Dash think keep Jaylen Brown, like I don't get it because like when you look at it realistically, is Jaylen Brown ceiling Kevin Durant? No. Jaylen Brown will never be that. Like you could argue Tatum right now is better than KD. I wouldn't do it. I know some people that would, but I wouldn't do it.
I also wouldn't.
But you could make the argument that defensively, Tatum's a better playmaker. But you know, KD, he's Kevin Durant. You know, but Jaylen Brown is no KD. Jaylen Brown might not even be Kyrie, if we're being honest.
And Jaylen Brown has gotten a lot of his stock is just skyrocket after the NBA Finals, and a lot of that has to do with Jason Tatum, you know, falling off the face of the earth, and that whole offense just missing shots all finals long, and Jaylen Brown kind of being their only stable piece, which is good for trade value. I'll give the Celtics that, but yeah, if they don't, it's KD at the end of the day.
If you're the Celtics, like you've got to like realize, right? Like obviously you made the finals and you don't want to blow up a team that made the finals. But you got a chance to get KD and your finals run had 2 Game 7s in it. It could have very easily been if Chris Middleton plays, the Bucks win that series.
I agree.
If whatever happens in Miami, they flip 1 game, then Miami's in the finals and not Boston. So it's not like you cakewalk to the finals and now it's like a decision like, oh, do we blow this up? Do we pick up a player? The KD thing, like the TikTok clip, shout out our TikTok followers at Really Sports, where KD goes to teams and fucks it up, that would scare me. But motherfuckers are arguing straight basketball, Jaylen Brown versus KD. Like, Jaylen Brown's going to help them that much long term. Like, he could leave if they don't want to extend him. If something happens, you never know with the locker room stuff. You don't even know if Tatum and Brown really fuck with each other like that, for being honest. So, I mean, I don't know.
You remember how good the first round of the playoffs was for both sides, East and West?
Yeah.
Bro, that shit was better than the conference finals, better than the finals, bro. First round was amazing.
It was, especially the West Conference Finals. Nothing really happened.
Mm-hmm. Poor Luka.
Poor Luka. But yeah, I don't know. I think if you're Brooklyn, the best player you could get is Jaylen Brown. And if you could somehow get Marcus Smart with that, even if you don't, I mean Kyrie, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Ben Simmons, that's a fire team.
Right.
That's a fire team. So I mean I think it works out for both teams, but I just don't like the whole Jaylen Brown defense.
When you were talking about earlier that race for 18 between the Celtics and Lakers, I saw it a couple weeks or maybe a week ago before the Kyrie news broke about Kyrie going to LA and then joining LeBron and then having Kyrie on that Lakers squad facing the Celtics in the finals, which would be just insane. But I do want to see that in the next 5 years, the next 3 years, Lakers versus Celtics finals.
I did too. That would be fire, and that would be for the ring. Especially if KD's there, bro. Fuck around and rig it and give us that finals. I don't give a fuck.
And the podcast numbers would blow. You know how entertaining we would be? You know how annoying I would be, bro?
No, you know what would be better? If it was Celtics Warriors and you get Curry versus KD in the finals. That would be heat. Because if you really think about it, Curry versus KD's rivalry. Not rivalry. I wouldn't even say they have a rivalry, but Curry versus KD is just a fire beef. See, I thought you were actually going up to do something. So I was trying to cover your back like during the pod, and I was just talking my ass off. And you went and got a blanket.
It's a Lakers flag, bro.
You know what I'm thinking? I want to put an American flag on my truck. What do you think?
Oh man, you would fit right into my hometown, bro.
That would be so funny, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get a blue flag, the blue American, whatever. That would be hilarious. You should hang it up because you don't got the All-Star.
I should put it up there. I will next week. It'll be up.
All right, y'all heard it. If he doesn't have it up, if you don't have it up, you got to do 15 push-ups on the pod.
I will. I'll do 20.
20? You heard it. You heard it. I'm gonna remember that. Y'all remember that too. Honestly, tweet at us at Beerly Sports at Beerly Hoops.
There it is.
See, we gotta sneak the plugs in like while we can, because so we don't have a 10-minute plug start.
Or even a 10-second plug. If you haven't already, follow us on Twitter, Beerly Hoops, Beerly Sports. Right.
Bang.
What's next on the Dort Report? Anything?
Last thing on the Dort Report, another round of 2K ratings.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Y'all know how it gets down, man. I give Trevor a player. He gives me the 2K rating. Y'all see the graphic on Twitter, and y'all say, "Oh, Dort, you're tripping," when Trevor fucking gave it to you. So, suck me dry. That's kind of OD.
Relax.
Let's start off with my guy, Westbrook. What would you say Westbrook's rating is coming into 2K23?
Russell Westbrook. After last year, we give him an 82. Give him some room to improve.
I like it. I feel like that's a good rating because they had him at like 79 last year.
Yeah.
But he is an MVP. What do you think Westbrook peaks at?
This year?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can see Russ getting out, like, he's Russ. I can see him getting up to a 90, really. Realistically, peaking. I don't think he's going to get there. I can see him getting like a 91, being like all NBA third team, something like that.
You know, ball low, bro. Next up, we got Ben Simmons. What do you think Ben Simmons rating?
This is a good one. I gave Russ an 82. Let me give Ben Simmons an 80. 84. 84.
That's where I had it. I think
Ben Simmons is a OD 2K player, by the way.
Especially in my team. That shit's fucked up what they do to him in my team.
One of the easiest players to get a triple-double with, Ben Simmons.
My team give his ass a 3-pointer too. So.
Sheesh.
Just a problem. Next, John Wall. Where you got John Wall?
John Wall?
John Wall. 78?
Yeah. I was going to say 77. Should I say 77 or 78? 77.
Damn. Okay.
What does he even do, bro? It's 2022.
He's one of the fastest players in the league.
Not anymore. He's not.
Not if the Thunder don't got no one fast.
Draymond? He's not that fast.
He's the fastest probably on the team.
Yeah. Not Josh Giddey.
Not Josh Giddey. Next we got Big AD. What do you got? AD's 2K rating.
Is this assuming it's 2K, so he's healthy?
This is if you were rating him, if you were head of 2K office, not prediction, what would you, Trev Scott of the Beerly Hoops podcast, sponsored by BetUS. If you haven't used our link, it's in our link tree. It's also going to be in the YouTube description down below.
That was hot.
Give the man a
92.
92?
Yeah. Excuse me, 93.
93?
Wait, nah, because I gave Embiid a 94, 92.
92 for AD. Kawhi.
$94.
I like it. Embiid rating. People forgot about Kawhi, bro, especially you.
Facts. I give him the same as Embiid.
You be disrespecting Kawhi though.
I mean, look what he's done.
Pod, I feel like every time we talk about greatness or Clippers or anything like that, you forgot, bro. Watch your tape.
Bro, that shot that hit the rim 3 times hurt me.
Hey, you know who that shot was against?
Nope. Doesn't matter.
It was against Jimmy Butler. What would you give Jimmy Butler in 2K23?
I would give him a 93, but he's got the braids now, kind of unproven. Give him a 92.
92. It's a different animal with the same beast.
Facts.
Okay. We got into what you talked about last week on the pod. These 3 bigs. Start with Bam. What would you give Bam's 2K rating?
87.
87?
I said no spoilers, no teasers. He's on my list. My top 10 overrated. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not playing. I had him on my list, and I took him off because I really thought about it. I'm just trying to see if you had anything wild, comparing these guys. No, you didn't. You had Chet the same rating as Westbrook. That's kind of crazy.
Whoa. Did not have to bring that up.
That's you, though.
I'm cutting that out when I edit this shit.
I'm not.
You said cat?
Yeah. Did the fart get on the podcast or not?
Fart?
Bless.
I don't think so. Should I give him an 88 or an 89? I'll give him an 89.
I think that's a fair rating. Only one off Ja Morant, even though I think Ja clears. You got Jimmy 2 overall is higher than Ja.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I'm not a Jimmy guy, and I am a Ja guy. Lastly, Rudy, and if you say 90, bro, I'm flying my ass down to Tampa right now.
I won't say 90. I will say 91. I'm just playing. Let's give Rudy let's give Rudy an 87 as well.
So you got Cat higher than Rudy?
Doesn't mean he's better.
Why?
Wait, did I give Bam an 87?
Yeah.
Give Rudy an 88.
I don't know, bro. You said it.
I thought I gave Bam I was tripping. Yeah, I need Rudy at 88, Bam at 87.
You heard it here. Trev thinks Cat is better than Rudy.
Hell no.
That's it for my 2K ratings, man. We got some heat on there. Some heat.
That was a fun one. That was a really good one.
I feel like I all hits, no misses on that.
Russ, Ben Simmons. Who was the third one?
John Wall.
John Wall, Kawhi, Jimmy Butler.
All right. It's Twitter time.
Talk about a little Twitter. Couple tweets, few tweets from the past week. I wanted to get your thoughts on. Talk about some of the replies. Some of our fans that tapped in. This is one of my favorite ones. It honestly did not do that well at all, but I thought this was a very good tweet. Started up some great discourse. Is Chuck Charles Barkley a top 5 power forward of all time?
No.
Nah?
No. Not even close, bro. You got him in your top 20.
Not even close to top 5?
This is not in order.
It's fair to have him as number 6. I'll say that, but I think he's top 5.
I got KG. I got Dirk. I got Giannis. I got Duncan. And I got, who did I just think? I got
Pedo. But you think he's right outside of that bubble? You think he's 5, 6, or 6?
What other names did people say?
I have no idea.
Let me see.
I'll have to pull it up. But Don Kovic said he was he agreed with you. He's not a top 5 power forward all time, but he is a top 5 commentator of all time for the NBA, which he is. Great career, Hall of Fame career on the court, Hall of Fame career talking about the court. Shout out to Don. This man, look at this. This man, Robert Hall, said, I said, is Chuck a top 5 power forward of all time? He said, maybe at his position. I said, well, yeah.
Yeah, that's the question.
You said Dirk. You said Giannis.
This is a little weird, and I'm not saying this guy's top 5 power forward. I probably wouldn't. No, I think. Would you say Kevin Love is a top 10 power forward of all time? He's got a ring.
Mm-hmm.
He was like a 2020 guy.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first bigs to shoot like that.
Mm-hmm.
Big part in one of the biggest championship teams ever because he locked up Curry.
Off the top of my head, I'll say no. But if I did some independent research, took some time on it, I could see him sneaking in there, top 10 all time. He has a very underrated legacy, though.
He does. He has a cool career. Kevin Love's
People forget those Minnesota days because, he didn't win shit. He didn't go anywhere. He didn't do shit. And then he played with Bron, and he was a third option when he got his ring.
Minnesota, K. Love, that guy.
You got him over Chris Bosh all time?
No, nah. But he'd be in that range. Kevin Love would be like...
They're close, yeah.
Under.
Yes, huh?
Kevin Love, top 10 power forward all time. People would pull out names. Elton Brand.
Yeah, crazy names. Y'all remember the playoff run in 2008 from Elton Brand, bro?
Carlos Boozer. You're forgetting about Boozer.
Power forward right here. 2 power forwards. I want you to rank these players 1 through 4. Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley.
Going into next year or this past year?
Right now.
So, hang on. I'm not projecting at all, right? I'm just what we got right now.
Yeah. Just right now, today. Who's the best? 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Pascal.
Okay.
Nah, I got Garland.
Okay.
Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
Mob. Barnes.
Siakam was the consensus number 1, and people got very disrespectful that he shouldn't be in this tweet. People were yelling at me for that. My man's Allen had some hate. He's a Heat fan. He said he got Garland, Barnes, Mobley, and then Siakam. He was the only one on the All-NBA team. I think it's kind of fair if you want to put Garland above Siakam. I disagree, but I understand it. But yeah, that's fair.
I think next season, Barnes is going to be higher than Siakam.
What about Mobley? Still last? Still 4th?
I had Mobley 3rd right now. I don't know if Mobley goes. I feel like Scotty Barnes has such a cool game where he could just go out and full court press and also be like a Ben Simmons type of playmaker.
Also give you 20. Yeah.
That's a cool guy. I was feeded off his unders on 3-pointers too.
Mm-hmm. A great tweet this past week that you thought of last week on the show. Who would win in a 7-game series 2011 Chicago Bulls, 2022 Boston Celtics.
How did that do?
I did pretty good. 75, 76, 50, 154.
I got the Bulls.
Bulls.
Give me the team with the MVP.
Mhm. Feel about this? Only person who clamped MVP Derrick Rose was Heat LeBron. Nobody on the Celtics is close to that. Smart, Tatum, and Brown would get cooked. Luol Deng would clamp Tatum or Brown, and Joakim Noah is better than any big on the Celtics. Not to mention, the next word is very important. We had Taj Gibson, Kyle Korver, Carlos Boozer, Thibodeau. D hit different. I don't know why he had to throw that on at the end. But Eric, you were so close to make he threw the little bias in there at the end with the we. But Luol Deng clamping Tatum or Brown and not giving Marcus Smart, Tatum, or Brown a chance against MVP Derrick Rose.
Yeah,
What do you think about that?
That LeBron dick eating is crazy.
I love it.
Like,
really, he is the only one that I can remember in that MVP season just playing like quality defense on it. And it wasn't even like all one-on-one. I'll give you that. It wasn't all. He had a lot of help side, a lot of chase down blocks, stuff like that. But I do think, yeah, that Miami LeBron D was delicious.
You don't think the last guard or the first guard in the last 20 years to win Defensive Player of the Year stands no chance against Derrick Rose?
I think he does. Eric doesn't, but I think he does.
I think Marcus Smart is great laterally. He's strong, so he could jump with Rose. I mean, Rose definitely would fuck him up a little bit, but he can move laterally. He's strong enough to not get like bumped, blown by, whatever. Marcus Smart's a dog, bro. Marcus Smart could not saying he locked up Curry in the finals, but there were some 8-minute spans where Curry looked helpless against Marcus Smart.
He's great. Yeah, I watched some. I'm not an old head. I actually hate old NBA basketball. I don't hate it, but I just don't spend my time watching it. I was watching some Gary Payton over the last weekend with my father. So his old head. How do you feel about this, my man Charles? If Giannis and the best version of Jimmy Butler couldn't beat the Celtics, Derrick Rose definitely isn't going to do it either.
Crazy. That's just it's just dumb, for being honest. Because Giannis didn't have his co-star. So it's like we're talking about two healthy teams.
Facts.
I like the Celtics for staying healthy. But come on, bro. Grant Williams hit, we talked about last week, 7 threes. Punching you in the mouth after the third one.
Facts.
Come on.
Carlos Boozer setting you a screen and sending you through the floor.
That Thibodeau defense?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
My question answered with a question. Doc Sixers wants to know what points would be the average for each team per game. What would be the average points a game for each team in a 7 year?
84.
He said 85, so you guys are on the same wavelength there. I like this a lot. Theo Long. The 22 Celtics, the 11 Bulls had no real number 2, which is pretty big to me. They were built on great D and Derrick Rose's offense. Celtics got more firepower on offense, and they're equally as good defensively. I don't know if they're equally as good defensively, but I think they do have a definite number 2 and a definite number 3. Nobody on that Chicago team is going to outscore Jaylen Brown. I mean, besides Derrick Rose and Jason Tatum say they cancel each other out. They both get 33. Jaylen Brown's going to score more than anybody on Chicago. And low-key, so is Marcus Smart probably.
The NBA this is a forgotten guy, bro. And I'm gonna be an old head right here.
Who, Carlos Boozer?
Boozer, bro. I'm not saying Boozer's outscoring Jaylen Brown, but Boozer was like that, bro. Especially that year, in between the Utah and the start of Chicago, Boozer was like that, bro.
I forgot he was in Utah. Wow.
Boozer was him, bro. Boozer made the conference finals with Deron Williams.
He was scary. He was a scary player. He just looked angry. He was one of those guys you wouldn't want to fight.
He was dope. I was a Boozer guy, but I I agree with you. Jaylen Brown is definitely the better number 2, but I wouldn't say Chicago had no number 2.
Like 18. I don't. What did he average? 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, something like that.
18. And we're
18 as a number 2. I don't love it, but they do have the better
nah,
defense. So I mean,
you know who scores 18 as a number 2, and we're gonna talk about later that people love to gas up.
Klay Thompson.
A little preview. Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray averages that. So if we're gonna say Jamal Murray's some freaky number 2, but Carlos Boozer because he plays in the post, come on.
Bet you guys didn't think you were gonna get a Carlos Boozer Jamal Murray comparison today when you clicked onto this episode.
It's always a surprise when you're listening to the BH podcast.
Facts, you're the beer. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna tell you before I tell you all the names on the graphic. Who has the best D in the league?
Bro, that Giannis picture was so funny.
I thought it was gonna bang. I mean, it low key banged, but I thought it was gonna bang a lot more.
Healthy Kawhi though.
Mm-hmm. Austin McClure said I could have worded this so much better. Austin, no.
When you said who said anything about defense?
Yeah, that bang. Okay, he said, what'd he say? Something. He's like, oh, you got defensive player of the years on here. I said, who said anything about defense? Frenchman Gobert, the right answer. Wolves got next. Stifle Tower, he's back. He was shouted out last week. He shouted out this week again. He said, I just know Rudy Gobert's D is stifling, which can he be wrong? Oh, and shout out to Cree. He said Jamal Murray, the guy we were just talking about. If you know, you know. We had a couple.
You know.
Cree, KN Sports, our man Alec over at Beerly Baseball. They all said Jamal Murray. If you know, you know. Matt, ML Diffley, Kawhi, and Giannis got generational length.
And girth.
Oh, and World Ellsworth. I'm gonna go with Giannis. He's a freak on and off the court. You seen that little? You seen the little ring for blowjob video?
Yeah, Greek.
Yeah, yeah. I'm throwing that clip on here. ASAP.
ASAP Rocky.
Next, this is probably my favorite tweet over the past week. Cut two of these players: Devin Booker, Ja Morant, Trae Young, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell. If it were me, I would say Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell. But I'm not cutting Trae Young or Jimmy Butler. I would say that off the bat. And then you probably, I mean, you can cut Devin Booker because of what we saw in the playoffs, but he was first team. First team.
If I'm talking about next year, I probably wouldn't cut Anthony Edwards.
Right.
But I would cut. I think I would cut Booker and Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought Jimmy was probably the best player on this picture, on this graphic.
Nah, the best player on that graphic is Ja Morant.
I don't like that. I love Ja, but they went 21-5 without him.
Stop fucking saying that shit.
No, I do. I love Ja, but I think he's a tad overrated.
Is he top 10 overrated? Bro, Ja is overhated, bro.
I don't hate him though at all. Just 20. Them boys went 21-5 without him. If that weren't the case, if they were around 500, if they were under 500, yeah. And he's probably top 5 MVP. Them boys went 21-5 without him. They were fighting the Warriors. Top 5 dog in the league, by the way.
Stop with the dog shit, bro. With him, they were fighting.
That's important to me.
Come on, then why the fuck is he overrated?
Because y'all talking about top 2, top 3 point guard in the NBA. Ugh.
The best player on the 2 seed.
He's not better than Trae.
Yes, he is.
I'll tell you that. He's not better than Trae.
Yes, he is, bro. I get it. You're a Philly fan, and Trae fucked up the Sixers. Ja Morant.
Trae is that guy, pal.
Clear. Trae is like...
Atlanta without Trae would be a bottom 5 team in the East. Ja Morant, the Grizzlies without Ja win 21-5.
That's because Trae, the way you build around Trae, you have to do that. It's like Curry. Like the Warriors without Curry would suck. You feel me? Like that's just how it has. Like certain
Okay,
players,
so we compared Trae Young to Steph Curry, so we're on the same page.
I've been doing that. I've been. People say you can't compare them something because Trey's not Curry. Their games are different. Their games are similar, bro.
They're very similar. I agree.
Trae Young's probably a better playmaker, but Curry's a better
Gravity. In gravity, don't forget the gravity.
No, bro, because the gravity is playmaking. That's what people say.
We got a lot of Booker and Mitchells. I like that one a lot. YB never great again. How about this one? Clamps the Lobster. Donovan Mitchell for basketball reasons. Devin Booker for bitch reasons.
That's the right answer.
That's the one.
Not the
I seen that one and I knew I had to screenshot that one. I'm like, I'm reading that one on the show.
The D Mitch thing, nah. But the Booker thing, you know,
people forgot about Donovan Mitchell, and I cut him too. I probably forgot about him too. But we'll see this year. I mean, that team is probably not going to be great unless they make another move, which I don't see it. But Spider's going to score this year. He's going to hoop his ass off.
I hope they make the playoffs. That would my Rudy Gobert slander would peak at that moment if they made the playoffs.
Not happening. No chance they make the playoffs.
What about the play-in?
What do you have to be, a 9 seed or a 10 seed? I could see them sneaking in 10. Top 9, I don't see it.
I hope they're better than the Wolves.
No way. However, that's another bad defense anyways, but we'll save that for another day. Rank these handles 1 to 4. We got Allen Iverson, we got Chris Paul, we got Steph Curry, and we got Kyrie.
I like Allen Iverson's handles the most.
He's definitely got the best crossover out of all these guys.
His is wider. I like AI's the most. Like when Kyrie gets wide, it's filthy. Pause.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy. that was OD. We got someone. Now that we're on YouTube, someone out there's got to make like a pause compilation.
They could do it. They could do it on football too. Yeah.
If you did that, if someone makes a pause compilation of every YouTube episode of the podcast, I'll send you $10.
Same. I'll match it.
20.
I'll match it.
So I got AI. I got Kai. I got Curry, then Chris Paul. Because Chris Paul doesn't have a dope handle. Chris Paul has like a smart handle, you know?
I was thinking more of like Hornets Chris Paul, you know what I'm saying? I put Clippers on here because that was his prime, but I was thinking more like a Hornets Chris Paul. Hauser's World, I love this one a lot. He said, just because the hate in here was just purely beautiful, and I knew this was a hate episode, Kyrie, AI, CPO, and then the super team merchant. So that was beautiful.
Wow.
Last tweet we're going to go through for today. Describe Russell Westbrook in 3 words or less.
MVP.
That was nice. I like that a lot. And I knew there was going to be hate when I tweeted this, but the hate was, this is going to get over 200 replies, and geez, 60-70% of them is stuff I'm not going to read on the show. You're going to have to go check out this tweet. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Beerly Hoops, at Beerly Sports. We're going to have to go check this out. I'm going to read some of the replies, but some of them are nasty. Boy Alec over at Beerly Baseball said, a basketball player. Lovely. My man, Kevin McNamara.
That's why it's fuck Beerly Baseball, honestly.
A basketball player.
Yeah, that's disrespectful. He's a top 50 player in the league.
My man, Kevin McNamara, said an all-time great. There's plenty of hate in this thread. I pulled up some love. I said 3 words and less, and Anna Westgoat said the greatest point guard. You know, it is what it is. Oh, I want to. What do you think about this? Our in-house Oklahoma City Thunder fan, my man Kevin, 3 words, held KD back. What do we think?
Hold on, what the fuck was that? Why is Kevin our resident OKC Thunder fan?
You are.
Okay. I felt that. I felt.
No, I said I gotta ask you, our resident KD fan, what you think about what Kevin said. I don't know this dude. Kevin 070136695. I wonder if it's his phone number. He said held KD back. What do you think about that?
He don't know ball. Because obviously KD held him back because when KD left, Westbrook won an MVP.
And that 3-1 when they blew it, I mean, Russ played as good or better as KD in 2 of those 3 games that they lost. So
People forget Russ had a 40-point game in the finals.
people do. They forget it. How quickly they forget.
Someone, I know this is your job, but someone responded with 2 goat emojis. The fuck?
I saw that. Was that Zach?
That's Jackson Flournoy.
Oh, Jackson Flo. J Flo. He left us a review. He's a G.
Wait, I want to see if you read this one. Oh, he is a G then, if he did that. Go. Keep reading them.
No, that's the last one I had. What's up?
Someone said, read the tweet again.
Describe Russell Westbrook in 3 words or less.
3 words or less. This motherfucker said he needs to accept that he isn't the same and should come off the bench and get out on a lower contract because if he doesn't, he's going to be out of the league.
This man read describe Russell West and then stopped reading. Describe Russ and then just started typing. Shout him out. What's his at?
At Heat season, Kyrie season.
Hey, read the whole tweet, my boy. This man wrote a book. We said 3 words or less.
Yeah, he got ratioed. Fucking 20 likes to 1. That would be more than 3 words.
I've seen. He got ratioed, but he got shouted out on the show. So you win some, you lose some. Long as the outcome is income. That's all we got for Twitter right now, man. The next time you'll be hearing from us, we'll be joined with our boy Jerome, a.k.a. Philly Dame, talking about the top 10 most overrated players currently in the NBA. We'll be back soon. Dort, anything to say to the people before we get out?
Want a break from the ads? Subscribe to Barely Hoops Premium. Shout out BetUS. BetUS, our sponsor. We got our links, all that. This is your little commercial break in between because y'all don't get a day in between. So we gotta plug a little bit. BetUS, links everywhere that will match your deposit. And it's the best way to support us as a community. Follow us on Twitter at Barely Hoops, at Barely Sports. I feel like I haven't said my at in a while, at DORT_LIL. Follow me on there, talk to me on there. Love talking ball. If you love talking ball, you could check us out on the Discord. As always, that's going to be in the YouTube description as well. That's also going to be in the link tree if you don't watch on YouTube. Leave us a review, man. You guys killed it with the reviews, man. That 4.9 stars, I saw that and I was feeling good, bro. I was feeling like we were Joe Rogan up in that bitch. We got other plugs. What the fuck?
We're gonna plug at the end too, at the very end.
Let's just plug this, bro. Fuck it. They don't deserve 2 plugs after what I pulled last week. The 10-minute plug. You guys get the plug halftime. You could have skipped this, whatever. But subscribe to us on YouTube, Barely Sports, TikTok at Barely Sports, Instagram at Barely Sports. Fuck. What else? What am I missing? BarelySports.com if you want to read articles. Barely Football is your home for Barely Football related news. Am I straight? Did I miss anything?
That's good. That's great to me.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Follow me on Twitch.
3, 2, 1. Is that gonna fuck you up?
I don't think so. I think you're.
And now joining us for our feature segment, we're going to talk about the top 10 current overrated players in the NBA. We've got our boy Jerome, and if you're on NBA Twitter, you probably know him as Philly Dame, and you've probably been in an argument before, and you probably lost. Jerome, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you on. How's it going, bro?
Hey, what's up? What's up? How you guys been?
Been great, man. Great. Happy to have you on. Again, like we were just talking about with the pass fake, you might know him on Twitter from that too. And if the Kembe Mutombo's listening, watching, he knows exactly what we're talking about. But let's get into this. This is our biggest hater episode. We got a hater guest on. We got Dort, who's a hater per usual. Number 10. Let's Dort, warm it up for us. Who's your 10th most overrated player in the league? And is he mildly overrated or is he vastly overrated?
I got one honorable mention.
Okay.
And we talked about it, I think last week, Patty Mills. Shout out Patty Mills for being overrated. Don't really go out there and do shit. But toxic. I gotta start off with like a stray bullet, some friendly fire. At number 10, I got Paku. And it's more like I feel like I could start off by saying Thunder fans are calling players overrated. Just like get warm. Paku's just not that guy, and people think like they've been saying he's gonna be the next KD, whatever, for like 3 years. And come on, we're over it.
I never heard that. You said Thunder fans said that?
Bro, Thunder fans be on Paku's dick. Like he's gonna be Giannis because he's fucking tall. So I had to throw him at number 10. Just as a Thunder call out, so we could be better.
That's fair. I got at least one Thunder player on my list, so
wow,
be excited for that.
You got Thunder players?
No, I got no Thunder players in my list at all.
Jerome, that's why you should follow. Hey, Jerome, you didn't even plug. Tell the people your Twitter really quick.
Follow Philly Dame on Twitter. I post tweets like every day, so sometimes they're entertaining.
Basketball Discord right there daily. Maybe there's no Thunder players on his list because they're not important enough. They're not even rated, so how could they be overrated?
That's true. That's ball,
Facts. Jerome, who do you got as number 10?
I didn't really want to put him on here, but today I got into arguments with a bunch of Hornets fans, so I'm putting Lamellar on here. He's a pretty good playmaker, but I think people really just overrate him. His playmaking, he's still really good. He doesn't like pressure the rim like other players. But like I don't really see him in that tier of like Garland and all those other guards, and people do, and I don't see it at all. But he's in my 10 spot.
Dort is coming to us live from Chino Hills, California. So our homegrown Chino Hills, how do you feel about that?
Listen, I think I could see you say LaMelo's scoring's overrated because I feel like people think he's like a bucket and an elite playmaker, but I think he's an elite playmaker. I can see anywhere else you say is overrated, but the playmaking for me, that don't fly. Nah.
If you guys had the same 14 players down the line and your number one player you had to build around starting this year was either LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards, who would you take?
I'm taking Ant. I think his ceiling is pretty high.
And I think LaMelo's on that tier with Garland, but Garland is like better than him. Like it's like, they're in the same tier, but Garland is better.
You think they're the same tier, Jerome?
No. Like I said, I mean, no, I think LaMelo's a great playmaker. I just think that he doesn't like. I think pressuring the rim is like the most important part of basketball, or at least playmaking wise. And he doesn't do it as like elite as a lot of other players. But he is a really good passer, though. I will admit his passing is like top 10 in the league. But just playmaking as a whole, I can't see him with a lot of other guys up there.
Who would you put him in the same tier as? Who would be in that group?
I think he's better than Poole, but I think he's in the Poole tier around that area. I know it's.
I don't like it, bro.
Oh, sorry. I think next year LaMelo Ball is going to take a huge leap. So
yeah, I think
it's not that much hating.
A big year for him. It could either make or break him. A lot of people have a lot of strong feelings about him. You talked about Jordan Poole. Poole's my number 10. I had to throw him. I hope you guys did too. I threw him on the graphic earlier, and I actually have two players from that graphic in my list. Number 10, Jordan Poole. I feel like he was vastly overrated the beginning, pretty much all the way up to the second half of the Western Conference Finals, and it kind of calmed down then. The resurgence of Andrew Wiggins we saw in the finals, all the different storylines we saw in the finals, and how Jordan Poole is just kind of a consistent good piece. He's not been as overrated as much lately, but extremely overrated over this past year. And I think Warriors fans are the most annoying fans in the NBA. And I put tweets out all the time with Jordan Poole. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed 100 replies, 150 likes, something like that. I put him in tweets a lot with, what's his name? Desmond Bane, who same minutes, same points per game. Bane's a better defender, but everybody's drooling over Jordan Poole every time. And I don't like that. Would you guys take Bane or Poole?
I take Bane.
I'm gonna take Poole. I think Poole adds more like scoring resilience than Bane, and more on-ball play with being an elite off-ball player as well. So I would take Poole.
I think they're very comparable. The thing I don't like is, or not even comparable, but very close together, same kind of tier. But just people drooling over Poole has got me just, and also seeing Warriors fans happy just really puts a dent in my mood. But
Another reminder that Curry had no help.
huh?
Another reminder Curry had no help. Thank you for that, Trevor.
Hey, we'll get to Curry.
My number 9 is John Wall. A lot of this stems from Laker fans saying they'd rather have Wall over Westbrook, like in the beginning of the year, and we hadn't seen Wall play in like 2 years. I thought that was disrespectful to me as a Russ guy, and I just don't see what John Wall would do other than like maybe shoot at an NBA level better than Westbrook.
Number 9. Okay, so you got Poku and John Wall as your 10 and 9.
Mm-hmm. My list really starts here. I feel like Poku is just like a thunder diss, you know?
Right. Do you think John Wall is gonna have a horrible bad season? Like, you think it's gonna be disappointing in LA?
I think it's gonna be cool, but I could so see him having like a 20-point game and Bleacher Report posting like John Wall is back, you know, 20-7, and they're like Clippers 1 seed because they're like 3-0 on the year.
Bro, that's like a few years ago. I think it was like 2018. It might have been 2017. When the Magic started like 6-1 or like 7-1 or something. I was feeling myself. I was so happy. But yeah, they ended up like the 14, 13 seed. They won like 25 games the rest of the year. So pathetic. Number 9, Jerome. Who you got?
So I number 9, I have DeJounte.
I almost put him on my list. I'm glad you did.
Really?
Yeah. I would put him in that Poole area. I didn't want to say that when I was talking about in the LaMelo tier. When I didn't want to say that because he was going to be next up on my list. But I think DeJounte's an elite defender. He's elite playmaker as well. But I don't necessarily think people think about his shot creation a lot. It's not as good as the other elite players up in upper tiers, and I think people forget about that and put him higher than he is. I think he's not that great off the ball, and that's a problem. And I think the Hawks overpaid for him. 3 first-round picks is kind of crazy, in my opinion. But that's just me.
Gotcha. He averaged 19, 9, and 9 last year, and like you said, the playmaking, the rebounding is something that's probably going to stay. He's very good at that. But his scoring, 19 points a game. Going over to Atlanta, you think we're going to see a drop-off this year?
Well, he is playing with like top 3 playmaker in the league, Trae Young. So I think you can see like the same scoring production, and you might see a higher efficiency. He was a negative. He had negative efficiency last year or this year, but in this upcoming season, I think you can see him to have higher efficiency. Mm-hmm. But I still think he's pretty overrated just for the trade sake too, because 3 first-round picks again. I'm not trading 3 firsts for DeJounte Murray, but that's just me.
They needed help though. Atlanta needs help. They need something else.
Would you say that's where he's like? Because I feel like for me, most of my list I would say is overrated from what I've seen like people say. You know, like do you see a lot of? I feel like I don't see any DeJounte hype after the trade. Like maybe a couple of days, people are like put him next to Trae, but after that, I haven't heard shit about DeJounte. And I feel like during the season, at least this season, he definitely had an underrated season. I agree. 3 first-round picks. I mean, I don't think it's bad because they didn't give up a player, but I could see what you're saying.
Everybody loves DeJounte too.
Yeah, I mean, I love DeJounte too. I think I was a fan when he played for Washington, but yeah, I did not like the trade. And a lot of the players some of the players on my list have to do with like trades.
DeJounte in Washington or someone else?
He played college in Washington.
Oh, I'm tripping. I think you're talking about the Wizards, bro.
No.
I was lost. You're right. Spit.
You said a lot of your players on this list have to do with trades and they're like trade value stuff like that.
Yes, I wouldn't say a lot, but some of them do.
I
Yeah.
think my boy did his homework. My number 9, God forgive me, a player that I love to death. I think Dort already knows who I'm talking about, but he had to be on this list. It doesn't mean I love him any less. He's got that top 5 dog in him. Ja Morant.
You don't love John Morant, bro. Stop doing this.
Yes, I
shit.
do. I do. I promise I love
You're
Ja Morant.
racism. You're one of those guys, bro. I promise. You're the John Morant has too much swag group on Twitter.
No, I'm not, because I love the swag. I love the
You hated on him the last 4 weeks, bro. How the fuck do you love him?
It's tough love. You know what I'm saying? You can love somebody and want more for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I loved my girlfriend, but I wanted her to stop banging other dudes. It never happened. John, and 21-5 without him, like you can't tell me that doesn't weigh on you at all. It doesn't.
That's going on TikTok.
So, what do you what's overrated about Ja Morant to you?
His value. He was in MVP talks pretty much all year, and then which I mean he should have been, but I think there were guys that were more deserving. He spent a lot of time in the top 5. MVP is a weird award, and it's a weird basketball discussion because valuable, most valuable hasn't really been defined, and it seems like it changes all these years. And I do see a lot of Ja Morant is better than Trae Young often, and I see that a lot, and that's part of the reason why I think he's overrated. But 21-5 without him is why he had to go on my list. I do love him, but 21-5 without him deserves a spot on the list.
I don't know, bro.
But he has got that dog in him for sure. Top 5 dog in the league.
I'm done arguing the John Morant.
He's more of a dog than KD.
He is. But that's not hard. I'm more of a dog than KD. Come on, man. Editing the podcast, editing the TikToks, and the graphics.
Facts.
More than KD, man.
KD could never.
Y'all are gonna like my number 8. This is someone I feel like I slander a lot on the podcast. Grown to love him a little more lately. Like I feel like a couple months ago he definitely would have been higher on this list. But at number 8, I got Tyrese Halliburton.
You do hate him. Yeah, I don't get this. You're gonna have to explain this. I don't understand.
I just think Tyrese is like good at everything, but everyone overreacted when they traded Tyrese for an all-star. And it's like Tyrese, like I think Tyrese has all-star potential, but I mean they got what they already like. They got what they needed, you know. And De'Aaron and Tyrese wasn't gonna work together anyway. I think De'Aaron has more all-star potential than Tyrese. So like I don't
potential.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about potential. I think they did trade the right player because they were talking when Halliburton was playing well, and they knew they were going to trade one of them. It seemed like half of Twitter said they should trade Fox, half of Twitter said they should trade Halliburton. I think they made the right decision, and they got an all-star back for him, like you said. But I just can't. I can't. I think it's too early.
Half of Twitter said they should trade Fox, and half of Twitter said they should trade Halliburton. And then when they did trade Halliburton, everyone was shitting on the Kings. They were like, "Oh, the Kings are so stupid. They won't win."
So you think he's 50% overrated?
I think he's overrated enough to be number 8 and nothing higher than that.
Okay, I'll accept that.
You know, that's just me. I think he does a lot of things good, but there's nothing in Tyrese Halliburton's game that I'm like, whoa.
He's a really good passer, though. Like,
yeah, really good.
I will say I hate the way he shoots the ball. Like that
it is funky. It is funky.
But
I
would not have even. He did not sniff my list.
Not a Tyrese.
Maybe I'm one of the guys overrating him in your eyes.
No, because you guys both said he's good, but there is people who think Tyrese is like the truth, and I just like I don't know.
What is your ceiling for him? Do you think he could average 23 and 10 in 2 years?
No.
You don't think so?
No, my ceiling for him would be like 21 and 7, which is like good, which it's great. Like that's an all-star, but I think by the time both their careers end, Fox will have more all-star appearances than Tyrese.
You know, And one of our next 2 episodes is going to be the top 10 underrated players in the league, and I'm going to have Halliburton on my list just to offset what you're doing here. What about you, Jerome? 2 years. What could you see his ceiling be?
I think 23 and 8. I like Jalen Smith. They picked up Jalen Smith from the Suns, and I think that they could be a pretty good fun duo later on in the future. So him and Halliburton and Jalen Smith, I think this is a pretty good young squad they have going.
I really want to see. Go ahead.
Yeah, so 23 and 8 or 9 is fine. Is good ceiling.
I really want to see DeAndre Ayton stay there in that trade. I feel like that would have really helped Halliburton flourish.
I do too.
That would have gave me a reason to watch Pacers games too. Nobody watches Pacers games anymore. But where are we at? Are we at number 8 now? Is it my turn for number 8? All right. So my number 9, Dort, you hated. My number 8, SGA. I thought about I was like, should I put him on the list just because I was bamboozled to find out this man had a max extension. But then I realized OKC has no one else to pay. Played 91 games in the past 2 years. Motherfuckers talking about him like he's an all-star. He also had a bad shooting year. He shot 5% less from the field, 5% less from 3.
Well,
heard about the same.
Great. That's some hater shit. That's a reaction. You're not getting a reaction from me.
Trev.
He's not an all-star.
Trev.
What average damn near 30?
For what? Who else is going to score on that team?
Post All-Star break, he was showing some really great flashes.
Trev don't watch ball, bro.
I don't see the problem with. I don't understand how you could watch Shea and think he's overrated, but that's just me.
I don't think he could be the number one option. Huh?
What do you think? What do you think people think about him that makes him overrated?
That he's an all-star and a number one option. I think if Shea is your number one option, you're extremely limited.
I mean, when you got Josh Giddey in his rookie year, and then Lou Dort's the second most paid player on that team, then yeah.
Let me ask you something. What do you think Josh Giddey's scoring potential is in the next 4 to 5 years? What do you think he could get up to?
18.
Okay.
You said more than Halliburton or less than Halliburton?
That's Halliburton right now.
What did you say, Halliburton? Oh, you said 21 for Halliburton.
I would probably. I think Tyrese is better than Giddey. I would rather have him than Giddey, but on the Thunder, I'd rather have Giddey than Tyrese.
I think SGA being the number one scoring option makes your team extremely limited. He played 91 games in the past 2 years.
Jerome, talk, bro. Let him know.
I mean,
educate him.
I mean, offensively, he's one of the best drivers in the league. He shoots so efficiently when he's getting inside too, and he's his change of pace when he is driving is insane. He can go from 0 to 60 in a second. It's just he's so entertaining too. I don't see him not being a resilient scorer. And I think his playmaking is actually really good too. His ability to find people when he's driving inside is really good. I just don't see how you could think he's limited, he's limiting your team. But again, we have not seen. He's right about the sample size, but I don't really think that he's going to be a limited player. I think he's resilient. I think he'll be an amazing player in the future, though. So I have to disagree.
When Shea was healthy, that was the last year we were in the playoffs.
Well, okay. What is the
Chris Paul? He did have Chris Paul.
Yeah. All right, that's one extra guy. He was still
one extra guy.
He was still our top scorer.
You ever seen the meme that it's woo, I got 30. It's Shea, we're down by 25. That's how I feel. But I also had to throw Shea in this list because I know Dort has at least 2 guys that are really going to piss me off. So I had to throw a Thunder player.
That's exactly what that was, bro. You don't believe that.
He is overrated. No, I do. I don't think he's an all-star. And he hasn't been healthy in over 2 years.
He wasn't an all-star.
Right. when he's an all-star this year.
Yeah, you're gonna look stupid. I'm definitely keeping it.
I'm gonna
You
keep
better
it.
dump as hell.
Let's hope he's an all-star.
Jerome, number 8.
Okay. Number 8, I had Zach Levine.
He almost made my list.
That's a good one.
I thought you loved him, Dort.
DeRozan's better though.
Yeah. Okay.
I watched Zach Levine. He's like, he's such an elite scorer. I like watching him play. He's so fit. He's pleasing to watch. But then you get into like his playmaking. It's gotten better over the years, but it's not as great. His defense is pretty bad. I don't think he's like. I mean, even in the playoffs, you saw his scoring kind of falter a bit. Now you could call that situational or not, and he's been in and out with like COVID injuries and stuff like that. But I just don't see. I don't think his style of play warrants him to be like a top 25 player when there's so many more elite players, and a lot of people have him in that area, and I don't.
Who are you taking? Levine or Beal?
Beal.
Beal.
I love Beal, so I'm gonna take Beal.
What you said about playmaking was interesting, which I understand you can't just say besides playmaking and just like sweep it under the rug, but I'm gonna do that. So besides playmaking, what is the difference between Zach Levine and SGA?
Sorry,
One
what?
of them averaged 27 and the other averaged 26.
Are you? Oh, you're saying besides playmaking?
Yeah, which I understand like is.
I mean, Shea's playmaking is like I don't think you can like sweep that away or throw it under the rug. But
You
like,
think they're both elite scorers?
yeah, I think if Shea is given like a really good space team, Shea hasn't been on like a good space team
Ever.
like not at all recently. And like when he hit he's been elite, and he's been doing this on such like shitty space teams. So I think if you give him a space team, he can average like 26 with like better efficiency as well.
The Thunder haven't had spacing since Ray Allen was on the team, for being honest. We haven't had spacing since we were the Supersonics, bro. So, I mean, like, we don't even know Shea's potential. You feel me?
Yeah.
We're not about to ride Shea this whole freaking podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm a Shea fan, bro.
We're riding for Shea.
Y'all are going to hate my number 7. Y'all think you hated my number 8? Just wait. You hated my 9. You hated my 8. Just wait till my number 7.
Give us it. Who's your number 7?
Nikola Jokic, the regular season sweat.
How the fuck could a 2-time MVP and, like, he gets shit on Twitter by all these, like, NBA...
I don't see him get shit on enough on Twitter. MVP is a regular season award.
Bad, that was bad. That's the worst take. That's worse than Jerry West.
Huh?
That's worse than your Jerry West take. That's
okay,
so
but the
bad.
playoffs are very important. This man has never had a playoff moment.
Hey.
He came out with a fucking 3-1 lead.
The bubble, I think he was really good offensively in the bubble. And against the Trailblazers, doesn't matter if they were like a really bad defensive team. But he played really good against them in 2021. He's just not had help lately. Everyone has been injured on his team. It's pretty situational.
Do you agree with that, Dort?
I do. You're geeking today.
I know you got LeBron on your list. LeBron and Jokic had the same year this year. Jokic just had more help.
He barely had more help, bro. Jokic's number 2 is Will Barton.
Bro, who was Barton's number 2?
Westbrook is way better than Barton.
I don't know. I don't have the nuggets off the top of my head, but was Will Barton the number 2 there?
I would guess, like, offensively, it would be him or Monte Morris. Like, Michael Porter played, like, 7 games. He didn't play a lot. Maybe 10.
Yeah, he played, like, 10 games in the beginning of the season, and he was pretty bad. But he was dealing with back injuries, too, so.
I'm only saying this past season, not all before, but I just think the MVP, he was a regular season sweat. And he did improve on I'm not even going to say he improved on defense this year. I'm just going to say he tried on defense this year. But people calling him a good defender didn't really sit right with me.
He's not a great defender. He's not an elite defender. But he's
also, a good defender. My favorite player in the league is Joel Embiid. But that has nothing to do with putting him on this list.
Wait, you said 6?
No, he
I mean,
said
what
it was
is
7.
value when you go to the playoffs and then like nothing? Like you're not even a. I mean, where does the value go? It's a regular season award.
Yeah, that's like LeBron against Phoenix, you know?
Okay, 2 years ago, but okay. Who's your number 7?
No playoffs. My number 7 is Kevin Porter Jr. The whole role player thing we had on the podcast.
Yeah. If I would have remembered that, he would have made my list.
Kevin Porter Jr., people look at him like he's like almost like, I'm not gonna say a star, but people gas that man up like he's averaging like 25 and 7.
Rockets fans are scary, bro.
I ain't scared. I'll slap the fuck out of any Rockets fan, honestly. If you're
I wouldn't say they're scary. I'll say they're aggressive.
They're weird. That's what they are, bro. Like Jalen Green is cool. I'm hoping the best for Jabari, but that's it on their team. If I'm being honest. And my boy Tari Eason. But
Jalen Green might be better than Shea in a couple years, but okay.
Stop it.
That's not a bad take. That's not a bad take. Jalen Green is that guy.
It's that guy.
The thing about Jalen Green, his second half of the season was great and it deserved the hype, but his first half was so bad, and people talked about his first half like it was the second half. You know, and people gassed him.
Yeah,
to start the year, and he was not that good to start the year.
Kind of reminds me of myself.
He's a rookie.
He is a rookie. No, I get it, but I don't get the like saying a player had a good game and trying to pull all these advanced stats when like you shoot 2 for 12. You feel me? Like that? That's just me, and that's how I feel. KPJ. That's a lot of the KPJ love too. Going full circle, like he
I
could
wish
go.
he stayed in Cleveland.
I do too. That'd been cool, but I don't know. Not a starting level NBA player to me.
Really? Not even a starter?
I don't think he's a starter, bro.
He could be a really good 6-man. I mean,
like 6-man, 7th, but he's no.
You know what he averaged?
KPJ, right? We're talking about KPJ, right?
Yeah, he doesn't even have a position. Like, where the fuck are you playing KPJ?
They have him at point guard right now, so.
But I don't think he's a point guard, and obviously he's not gonna start at 2 with Jalen Green. Like maybe the 3, but it's just I don't like it. Ty's gonna start over him by the end of the year.
Whoa, that's hot. That's a hot take. I don't mean that's hot. Like that's attractive. That's a hot take. I do like Ty though. I said he's the next Tyrese Maxey, but it's gonna take a minute. It might take a half a season or so.
I like Ty because he's a really smart player. I feel like KPJ is a good player, but he's not a high IQ player.
Jerome, who you got at number 7?
Number 7, I have Chris Paul.
Yes, sir.
This year he was, I think, vastly overrated by the media. Like people had him like number 1 point guard, Stephen A. Smith. Like Kendrick Perkins thought he was the best point guard in the league at one point. Then you have people who think his playmaking is still like as it was like at least 2 years ago. I think it's fallen off a bit. He's still really elite playmaker, but it's fallen off a bit. His defense, he's still a smart defender. He has high IQ, but it's still falling off. I just don't think he's at the spot or at the heights that people say he's at. So
do you think he's hot and cold, kind of inconsistent offensively?
Yeah, kinda. He's passive. That was a problem in his career, but I think now that he's older,
it's easier to be passive more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I put him in that tweet today, and so many people were mad. Why is Chris Paul here? Why, But I mean, it was the playoffs is really the reason I put him in the picture. 28, and then 4 points, and then 22, and then 13, and which I mean that's not his value, but
I like and hate what you said. Because if I'm being honest, like I agree.
This is the hater show. So what do you hate?
I'm a big Chris Paul guy, but I feel like everything you said was too safe for me. Like you're not gonna dog him at all. Not good, because I agree. As a Chris Paul fan, I agree with everything.
No,
Like, do you still
I
think he's
love
still an
Chris
elite
Paul.
playmaker? Would you say he's a top 5 playmaker?
No, I would not have him in that tier right now. I think he
Who do you
fell
have
out.
over him?
I would have him like 6, maybe. I think you can argue him like, I guess, top 5, but I would not have him there right now. I think he lacks like the scoring aggression right now. You need to be like a high elite scorer to be a top playmaker right now. He is still like great shot creator, great in the pick and roll, but still I don't think he's in that top 5 anymore. No, so
Right.
But still elite, right?
yeah, he's still elite. No, he's still elite.
I just want more slamming. Like, I want you to just be like, Chris Paul's a bum. He don't got
It'll get there when we get to the top 5. There are some players that I don't like.
All right. Trevor, did you give your 7?
I did. It was the regular season sweat.
Who's 6?
My number 6.
Yeah.
All right, before y'all slam me, I'm just talking about this year. He had an extremely overrated season as a whole. I will die on the hill that although he was the finals MVP, he is not the reason that his team won the finals. I'm talking about Seth Curry's brother at number 6. Huh?
Bro, you are an L today. You had 3 for 3 terrible takes.
I'm not saying he's crazy overrated. I'm just saying I'm bringing up that reason. I don't think he was the number one reason they won the finals.
Jerome,
what do you agree with? You said Curry, Steph Curry.
Yeah,
Steph
Curry's brother. Yeah,
a player who won a championship with the worst supporting cast we've probably seen in the last 15 years.
I don't think the Warriors are that good offensively. I mean, he's such an amazing floor raiser offensively.
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying?
No, I was saying I don't think they're great offensively either.
Yeah, but like with him on the floor, he makes them so great. Like, I mean, Draymond was borderline unplayable without Steph, and you have Steph in there, and he makes him look better. Makes everyone on the team look better. I just don't like, and the gravity argument gets so annoying all the time, but it exists. It exists. I'm not gonna lie and say it doesn't exist. So I don't see Curry overrated. Maybe
he was the best player in the
Warriors
finals.
fans.
He was the best player in the finals, but he was not the most valuable. That's different. What? What's that? What is that?
You're right. It's different, but who would have been more valuable?
It would have been more valuable than him. I would have said he's more valuable.
I would say he's the most valuable and the best.
I said this after we saw the NBA Finals. I said the reason Steph was not the reason they won the finals. The reason they won the finals was because it was halfway through the second quarter and the Celtics had 28 points. That has nothing to do with. You could tie it back to Steph's offense.
But I think one game.
It was multiple games. It was multiple games.
You said Steph was the best player, but not the most valuable player. Who is the most valuable player
in the finals?
Yes, and
the Warriors don't win without Andrew Wiggins. The Warriors don't win without Andrew Wiggins.
And they win without Steph?
I didn't say that.
So then who is the most
valuable player? They don't get there without Steph. They don't get there without Steph.
I'm here. Who?
Who? What? What are you asking? What are you fucking owl?
Who was the most valuable player in the finals?
The most valuable?
Yes.
I told you, Maple Jordan.
Why?
Defense and the second best player on offense.
You're crazy. You are tripping. This is 3 L's in a row. You heard it. This is the first 3 L of the podcast. First L since Jerry West, Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley.
My 5 is mild. My 4 is mild. My 3 is mild. My 2 is mild, and my 1 is war.
Okay, I'm ready for it. Because I'm going to war at this right here. Honestly, my number 6 is LeBron James, and just this season.
You're good.
Should Jokic be on your list?
Yeah, because Jokic made the playoffs and he didn't fucking bitch out.
Make the playoffs. The Nuggets made the playoffs.
Jokic won games.
Tell me why he was overrated this year.
Because everyone just talked about LeBron like LeBron. I've heard people still say LeBron's still the best player in the league, and that just is ridiculous to me, and it's just off name at this point because
No.
LeBron, as great as LeBron is not the same LeBron from 3 years ago, even the bubble year, and that's undeniable.
I don't think he was completely healthy this year, but I want to let the people know, and I wanted to let Jerome know that when you say LeBron is overrated, you think he's the 15th best player in the league.
Yeah, I do.
That's where I have a problem.
Okay, man. Are you serious? 15?
Yes, he ranked him at 15th at the end of the year. Yeah,
No. Because it's like
because you can say LeBron is overrated, but you can't say he's the 15th best player in the league.
Well, when Bradley Beal averaged 30, Bradley Beal was like the 15th best player in the league. So
This
what the
is-
fuck is between LeBron averaging 30 and missing the playoffs and Bradley Beal averaging
Okay.
30 and making the playoffs?
You mad
But
at
I
me?
mean-
With the same fucking Westbrook.
No.
Yes.
No, Washington
No.
Westbrook was so
It's
much
the
better
same
than
player.
Lakers.
It's a year difference.
No.
That shows
No.
How fucking worse LeBron makes players. And people want to gas it up and be like, oh, Kyle Korver,
Oh.
remember the finals, George Hill.
Bro, how are you gonna look at that mid-range shot that Russ threw off the top of the backboard and be like, "Damn it, LeBron"?
Because LeBron can't face the floor.
He can't what?
Okay, he shot
LeBron can't take the
38%
like-
this year from
Like
3.
Bradley Beal.
I think LeBron shot better from 3 this year than Bradley Beal did that year when they were playing
But
together.
Bradley Beal,
Cook.
extends range, space is better. Beal, and I'm not saying Beal was better than LeBron. Let's hold it there. But I mean, come on. You look at the team. LeBron should be held accountable for them not making the playoffs. He's the best player.
Wait, what do you
Any
mean?
other
Look at the team. The team was dog shit.
Look at the big three. You
They
hype
also
it all
AD
up.
didn't play.
He had a
AD
bunch
They
of
were the
injuries.
favorite.
Had a bunch of injuries, man.
Bro, but so did the Nuggets. We could do that with every team.
Okay, but Nikola Jokic is a better basketball player than LeBron James in this point of their careers. So
And, that-
I mean,
and that's what I'm saying because people still think LeBron should be in conversations with Jokic, and that's
well,
just
I
wrong.
agree with that sentiment. Like, I wouldn't say LeBron is like even close to being the best player in the league right now, but I don't see him outside of like the top 8 at all. So
I'll do it.
You put in that list. Didn't you put Chris Paul over him?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
oh no, oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I did.
You thought I was crazy.
The 1 seed Suns wins over everything.
Oh my.
You're gonna if AD is healthy this year, you're gonna have a bad year.
I'm with it. If AD is healthy and AD is the best player on the Lakers, I'm still having a great year because that means
Okay. Will you say Russ sucked this year? Will you say Russ sucked?
I wouldn't say sucked. I would say he had a bad year though, a down year.
Okay, so the
Bro,
second
he
best
was a
player had
negative
bad
on
year.
both sides of the floor.
But that team was awful.
Yes, the whole team was bad. There was a point, there was a stretch of like a week.
Including LeBron.
I wouldn't say bad. I would not say bad at all.
I
There
would
was a
say
stretch of like a week, maybe like 4 or 5. I wouldn't put anything over that. Where Austin Reeves was the third best player on the
Trevor,
Lakers.
where would you put LeBron if you were doing a top 10 list?
Like going into this year, or just
yeah.
last year, ranking from last year.
Either or, whatever you want.
I'll do last year since I guess that's a little more relative.
Last year I could pull up where you had LeBron last year.
6. I think I had him at 5, but I'll put him at 6 because Tatum. We did that before Tatum went to the finals.
I don't. That's me. I can't do it.
I think I had Giannis, Embiid, Jokic, Luka, Tatum, LeBron, KD, and then I don't know after that.
I just look.
But 15, when we did that
Steph
episode,
that low.
This is the thing.
oh, I don't. No, I probably had Steph. I don't know.
Players have great seasons all the time and miss the playoffs, and they're not held like, oh, he's still top 5. Like, I feel like a lot of the LeBron love is what LeBron has done and not what he did last year. Like, Kevin Love averaged 25 and 10 and missed the playoffs. No one's saying Kevin Love's top 10.
He averaged 25. How many games?
Yeah,
did he
but
play?
like,
Kevin Love used to hoop, bro. That man used to average like 25 and 14.
Oh, I thought you meant this
I'm
year.
talking about,
I was like,
prime.
how the fuck did I miss that?
well,
I'm talking about
I
like,
mean,
the
stats
prime
don't
of-
really paint the full picture, though. like LeBron is still LeBron. He's still like capable of creating so many shots for his teammates, and like he showed a lot of great off-ball play this year too. Like he wasn't like commanding the ball as much, and he was trying to help his teammates a lot. I don't see how like you could say he made his team worse this year.
This year,
LeBron, because LeBron gives up during games now, and old LeBron never did that shit.
I don't think he gave up during games this year. I would say last
on
year when
defense,
he was injured.
In the playoffs, he gave up during games last year.
He was injured.
We can't keep doing that shit, bro. Because
I think the only part of his game. Oh, sorry.
No, go.
You go. Oh, okay. So I think the only part of his game that he was like not trying this year on and became a negative was defense. But that's because he had to do so much on offense this year.
With all the injuries the Lakers had this year, this was just off the top of my head, a bottom 3 team that LeBron has played with.
Hey, you're probably right.
I would agree.
Okay, so Nikola Jokic's team was better.
But Jokic, we're still talking about like Will Barton. We're talking about Aaron Gordon. We're talking about Campazzo, Monte Morris. It's like, what? There's not that much of a difference. But Jokic
that's a little better, and they had similar comparable seasons. LeBron scored more, Jokic scored or rebounded more, and then their assists were probably.
I don't care about fucking point. Who won more?
Okay, but are we gonna say winning is on one guy, is on the shoulders of one guy?
It's like Jokic, or when you see like what LeBron did in the final. There's certain times where winning is one guy. In basketball, especially, like football is different. Other sports is different, but basketball, you could win off one player.
Is there one player you could have? I mean,
Westbrook's MVP year.
If you put Giannis on this team, is it a good team? Is it a top?
Giannis would make the playoffs on that team, and you can't say I'm lying.
He's not a top 5 seed in the West.
There's no universe where Giannis doesn't make the playoffs, no matter what team he's on.
I don't know about that.
Put him on a Make-A-Wish Foundation team. Giannis is making the playoffs.
All right.
What number was that? Number 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're tripping.
So is it me or Dort?
That is Dort.
I gave.
Oh right, yeah. So Trevor.
I win. My 6 was Seth's brother. So it's your turn for 6.
Oh right. So it's me. Sorry, behind. At 6, this is where I had Halliburton. I think you talked about it earlier. About the trades. I think he's overrated because people just like think the King or the Pacers won it overwhelmingly. That trade between the two, which I don't think happened at all. I think the Pacers won because I have Halliburton's potential higher than Fox, but I don't think like right now Fox is better, and I don't think people. I don't like that people think that Halliburton is better than Fox right now. Halliburton's great. I mean, he has a lot of potential. I think he can make some noise in the league, but like, I think people overrate him too much right now.
Right, he did. I mean, he did. His potential got traded for an all-star.
Yeah.
But I believe in the potential, so he didn't sniff my list.
Who would you take, Tyrese or LeBron?
Come on.
LeBron, bro.
No, you're straight. Oh, yeah. You hit it on the money. Simple. Trev, let's get into the top 5. Top 5 most overrated players in the league, according to Beerly.
You might know who my most hated team in the NBA is after this. Number 5, a guy I used to like a lot, coming off an injury, Klay Thompson. It just seems like so many times in the playoffs and in big games, obviously those game 6s are a big thing, but it seems like in big games, so many times, even historically, before the playoffs, he sucked. He's, shot 2 for whatever, and they win those games. It seems like all the time. he hasn't been the same quality of a defender since his injury, which is, I mean, obviously not his fault. But and then the biggest reason he made this list was, I mean, he's got the legacy, he's got the career to back it up. But after what we saw from him this year, and then making those comments to Jaren Jackson, it seemed uncalled for. I hated that. I talked about that when it happened on the podcast. That pissed me off. But and then you ever seen the school project meme, where it's like when you do nothing on the school project and you still get an A, and it's Clay shooting 2 for 10 from 3 and 5 for 19 on the game, and they still win the game. That's why he made my list. I used to love Clay, and that is the last Golden State Warrior on my list.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I mean,
you guys didn't hate that. You guys hated all my four before that.
You bounced back. I mean, okay. I'm not gonna say I love it because Clay's not on my list, but I don't hate it.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought of Clay. Yeah, I thought of Clay being on my list. I mean, he didn't make it, but he is pretty overrated. So he might have probably should have been on my list.
Who's your number 5?
My number 5 is Jaden McDaniels.
What?
Not who you expected.
Whoa!
What?
This high.
Who talks about Jaden like
who that was for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Wait, but, first of all, what? Second of all, why? I love Jaden McDaniels.
Honestly, I'm just at the point where I'm just done with Timberwolves Twitter. Timberwolves Twitter is the worst place on Twitter.
Well, get ready. Get ready.
We're gonna get ready because I got a new Timberwolf on this list coming up.
Oh no!
But we'll wait. We still got a couple spots until we get to him. The Timberwolves gave up 7 picks for Rudy Gobert?
5,
and motherfuckers were saying at least we kept Jaden McDaniels. Like, come on, Jaden McDaniels is not that guy. He's the guy that's always a year away from being a year away. And like, I hope he hoops. I mean, young player, get your bag, you know. But
who do they call 3 years away from being 3 years away?
Caboclo.
Oh, Bruno. Yeah. All right, continue.
That's the Jaden McDaniels of the modern generation. And honestly, I think a lot of it's because I follow a lot of Timberwolves fans. I don't see the next.
That is so random.
It is, and there's more random players on this list.
No, I mean following a lot of Timberwolves fans is random.
I just know a lot of I'm in the Timberwolves communities, you know. I'm over McDaniels though.
Fair. Damn, I feel like he caught a stray.
He did. Fuck you, and fuck Billy Baseball. I didn't say that last episode, last section.
Who do you got at number 5, Jerome?
Number 5, I have a Warriors player. I have Draymond Green.
Wow, he's like the only guy I like on the Warriors.
I like Draymond. I actually do like Draymond, but it's getting insane. I think his offense is just a negative at this point. You have to have Curry on the floor to actually have him be effective. He's just like, he was a negative on offense this year. And people just like to forget that. I think his playmaking is so overrated. He's not really creating much with his passing. It's really Curry with his gravity. Again, I know that argument. People get mad about that. But it's not really Draymond that's creating a lot of the assists he gets. It's just easy passes that Curry creates. I mean, he's still a good passer, but he's a negative on offense, and his defense it's elite. I will give him that. It's like top 3 in the league. I would have it, but offensively, he's too much of a negative for people to have him to just rate him super high.
Do you think he'll get the max?
See it. What is he, like 33, right?
Yeah,
around that age. What does he want? 140.
I
think
he'll probably get it. There was a report that Steph was upset that they're not thinking of giving it to him, or they're thinking of not giving it to him. So he's gonna get it probably because Steph. But I wouldn't give it to him.
My number 4 is also Draymond. So we could just keep it moving, man. Shout out, bro. I love Jerome. Jerome is. Jerome, you can plug again, bro. Go ahead.
Philly Dame on Twitter, bro. Follow it. You might disagree with a lot of what I say, but it's fun to argue. So it's fun to argue.
I don't even believe half the shit I say sometimes is just good for click.
Like
Number
Shay,
4, I got Giannis. I'm just playing. Dude sucks. Number 4, I got somebody that Dort loves. Had to make my list. He really, I don't even know why he made my list, but 39% from the field as a point guard, and I really feel like the incident he had this year with Russell Westbrook kind of made him. Dort, do you love Reggie Jackson? Is that right?
I like watching him play, but he's kind of annoying.
Facts. I thought his numbers and stuff would have been a little better than that. You know, Terrence Mann almost made my list too, but I feel like nobody really overrates him anymore. I did see a little too much Reggie Jackson love this year. That's why I made my list. But
Really? I didn't see anything from him, but
when that Russ thing happened where he crossed Russ and then Russ fouled him, I saw that for like a month after. People were calling him better than Russ, everything. But that's why.
yeah,
I mean,
that seems pretty crazy.
I put all my crazy ones at the end so that I could redeem myself a little later on.
Reggie's just a weird one. Like I didn't come prepared today to argue about Reggie Jackson, if I'm being honest.
Also, I will say my 6, Steph Curry's brother, 7, Jokic, 9, Ja Morant, and 10, Jordan Poole are all mildly overrated. I'm not saying any of them are crazy, but we move on. Number 4, Jerome is the only one that hasn't given number 4.
Yeah. So number 4, I have Miles Turner, and this is just from being a Rudy Gobert fan. If you guys didn't know that, or people listening, I'm a huge Rudy Gobert fan. So I have to get into these debates where people talk about Miles Turner versus Rudy Gobert. I think it's really disrespectful. But
Miles Turner sucks. I agree with you wholeheartedly on this.
Miles Turner, I wouldn't say he
sucks.
sucks.
Good rim protector.
He's a really good. Defense is really good, but offensively, he's not that good of a roll man or a lob threat. That's just, I don't know. He's kind of wonky sometimes, but his 3-point shot, people love to rave about it, you know. But he's only shooting like 33%, and his like best year is like 38% from 3, and he was only shooting like 2 attempts per game. So, but I think he's still a good shooter, but I think you don't really have to worry about him that much until like the end of the game. So he's not that big of a spacing threat as people say, and I really just don't understand how someone could put him over Rudy Gobert, who's like the best rim protector in the league, who like impacts defenses the way he does. So that's just me from being a Rudy Gobert fan.
And I know he played less than half the season this year. Not that scoring is everything for big men, but I think 12 points a game, something like that. But hopefully I've noticed the Miles Turner love has kind of started to die, and I hope it continues to do that. But
yeah,
I like it.
The Miles Turner love is there when you try to like say he's better than any player, but then when you're like offering trade packages for him, it's like 2 second-round picks and a bum.
Yeah, that is true.
So I mean, I get what you're saying though. I could see why Rudy Gobert, like being a part of Rudy Gobert Twitter, like one of the number 1 Rudy fans. Like I would not compare Miles to Rudy. But coming in at number 3, another stray. We talked about this earlier on the same pod, but like another day for me and Trevor.
Just like Garrison Matthews or something.
Jamal Murray has made my list.
What?
No. Oh no.
Because of people like Trevor who think that Jokic needs Jamal Murray. He does. He does not. Jamal Murray had a good bubble run, and that was it. This motherfucker averages 18, and everyone's like, "Oh, wait till Jokic's 2 Supermax players comes back." Like,
he's a great shooter. Great spacing, great playmaking. I think he shot 41% from 3. Now, I got to hear this explanation.
Michael Porter got lucky that he started off so bad this year, honestly, because he would have been on this list too. Like, Michael Porter and Jamal Murray go hand in hand. The whole, they're missing 2 max players. That whole thing, like, I think there's levels to it, you know? And it's like, the Anthony Davis thing missing on the Lakers, I get it. But Jamal Murray, I'm not fucking here to say Jamal Murray is that, like, wild. Like, maybe compared to the Nuggets players, that he's wild.
You saved yourself right there because I was about to use that again. Yeah, okay.
Compared to the other fucking point guards in the league, that man might not even be top 10, if we're being honest.
What'd you say?
I don't think you could name 8 point guards better than him.
You don't think so?
Nah. If you want to do it on the spot.
Is Luka a point guard?
Yes.
Okay, then 9.
I would definitely take Luka. I would take Ja. I would take Curry. I would take Chris Paul. I would take Trae Young. That's 5. Dame. Kyrie.
See, now it gets weird. That's why I said 8. Look at that. What are you gonna say now?
I obviously gotta think. Off top of my head.
I'm taking Shea. That's me.
Yeah, I would take Shea, but I don't think of Shea as a point guard, even though he does have the ball majority in his hands and is a good playmaker. So fuck it, we take Shea, just to prove my point. I feel like he's in that like I would take Marcus Smart over him.
What?
I don't think that's a bad take.
Smart over Jamal Murray?
Hell yeah, I would.
Marcus Smart's defense is. I mean, it's elite. Like, probably the best guard. He is the best guard defender in the league. I mean,
talk, Jerome. I fucking love you, Jerome. Jerome says everything. I don't have to say shit. Jerome knows that I'm the biggest ball analyst on the fucking planet. Jerome gives. There he goes. Thank you.
Have we all said number 4?
That was my 3. So you guys are at 3 now.
Okay, good. My number 3 is Marcus Smart.
Oh nah.
No, that defensive player of the year belonged to Rudy.
I agree, but
that was a popularity award. Giving it to a guard the first time since Gary Payton. Also, I swore, I don't know what, maybe I overrated him. I'll say that. I overrated him. Because I swore this man scored 16 points a game this year. He had 12. Glorified Patrick Beverly.
I think in the playoffs he averaged 16 or something like that.
That's probably what I was thinking of, but
because he steps it up in the playoffs, unlike some players who you said should win Defensive Player of the Year.
Hey, get off Rudy.
Yeah, I'll stop. I am a number 1 Rudy fan. I agree with you. Marcus Smart is so overrated. Like Marcus Smart, low key doesn't even go out there and play defense. If we're being honest, he might not even.
All right.
Just goes out there to flop.
Is on the team,
okay,
and
guys.
Robert Williams is a rim protector.
I had to throw a Celtic on here. I was gonna put Rob on there, but I couldn't.
Yeah, no, I disagree wholeheartedly. I think Marcus Smart's one of the best guard defenders ever. So
I just think I overrated him because I've been praising him for the past month straight.
Maybe I don't know. I love Marcus Smart. So
well, if you listen to more Beerly Hoops, you would know what I was talking about, Jerome.
Damn. Sneak this.
Who's y'all's number 3?
I gave mine Jamal.
Okay.
So you said you're 3 too?
Yeah, it's on you, Jerome.
Okay. I have Jonas Valanciunas at number 3.
That's a straight.
Yeah. Fuck Jonas Valanciunas. Actually, just fuck him.
Jonas Valanciunas. By the way, fuck Giannis. Nah, go ahead.
Jonas Valanciunas. Fuck him. Okay, so I watch a lot of Pelicans games because I like Brandon Ingram.
Wait, that's time out.
Yeah.
Is this because of Rudy?
No, it has nothing to do with Rudy. It has nothing to do with Rudy.
Continue.
I watch a lot of Pelicans games. Jonas Valanciunas is good offensive center. I won't deny it. He's strong. He can get his points, but he shot above league average efficiency this year. Good points per game, but watching him in the play-in, he was against the Clippers. He was borderline unplayable. They had to sit him. They put in Larry Nance at center, and he was much better. He was more effective that game. In the playoffs, for majority of the playoffs, he was averaging 48% true shooting percentage, and then he did pick it up near the end, but he was not that great in the playoffs. Also, his defense is awful. But then when you talk,
I like that put him on your list.
Yeah, I mean, but there's people who think he's like near the top 5 center spot, and I would not put him there like at
Yeah.
all.
You know why? Because they just look at stats, and Valanciunas has a lot better stats than you would think. Like he has borderline, 6, 7 top centered stats, but it's just when you watch the game, it's something completely different. But those just guys who just look at his stats, points and rebounds, they would put him at the top. I like that. That's always been in my head, but I've never heard anyone else say it.
Jerome's the best. Once again, proving how much he knows ball. Yeah, I mean, Jonas Valanciunas is similar to Reggie Jackson for me. Like, I'm not about to sit here and fake argue about Valanciunas or, but I agree. I can see that. I don't think he's near top 5 center in the league.
Speaking of the Pelicans, do you think Zion giving him the max was a good idea, Jerome?
Oh yeah, I'm a Zion fan, so I mean, like, I think they could make some noise this year. They're really good offensively. They have CJ, Brandon Ingram, Zion. I mean, that's 3 players right there that put up 23 plus a game, right?
I wish they had better jerseys.
I actually like the Pelicans jerseys a lot.
They're cool. They're not like elite or anything. They're alright. I would get one. Let's keep it moving because this is gonna be a 2-hour episode.
I'm just editing. I'll trim it down.
My number 2, I got OG Anunoby. I feel like this is another maybe stray, but I just think Anunoby's trade value lately has been way too high, and he is also he's a good player for sure, but I mean we've given him a lot of time to become to fill that Kawhi role. That was what he was supposed to do when Kawhi left, and he just hasn't done it.
Doris, OG Anunoby or Isaac Okoro?
The fuck I'm taking OG.
Okay.
Just crazy tweets.
I just wanted to see how overrated I thought he was.
I think I would put him in I don't think he's in that Desmond Bain, Jordan Poole tier. I think he would be one down.
Wait, what? Anunoby is one tier down from those guys?
Yeah.
At least.
But people gas him, bro.
No, his trade value is high on Twitter. I'll say
trade value is high, and I mean, Jerome, you seem like you know your stats. Like, do people love his advanced stats, or what's the OG?
His advanced stats are not like eye popping, but he is still an elite defender. I'm not last year or in 2021, I had him top 15 defender in the league, and then this year he did take a step back, but that was because of a more offensive focused role. So, I mean, he did get better near the end. He's or the end of his season. He's really good. I mean, I don't think he's as good. I don't think he's gonna hit the potential that people say he will, and I think his trade value on Twitter is pretty high, so I get the overrated label. But I think he's in that Poole area but where you had Poole and Bain. But yeah, he is pretty overrated, I would say. So you're right.
Was he your number 2, Dort?
Number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is somebody that you overrate and somebody that probably half of NBA Twitter overrates. A guy that looked like he wasn't even looking at the rim in the playoffs, and his defense took a hit this year. It fell off a little bit. The formerly second best player on the Miami Heat, now the third, Bam Adebayo. I've seen him, huh?
I overrate Bam.
You take him over Rudy.
I feel
defensively.
I like his versatility. That's my thing.
You say you would rather have him on defense than Rudy.
I would.
I mean, I think Bam is his defense, dealing with Bam fans as a Rudy Gobert fan is pretty annoying, but it's still he's still an elite defender. He's close. He's in the top 5 realm. His versatility is amazing. It's best since Kevin Garnett. I mean, he is an amazing switch defender. at his size. But I think offensively, people know that he's not going to be an offensive centerpiece anymore. So I mean, like, I wouldn't say he's that overrated, but
It looked
I
like
can
his
see where
offense
you're coming
was,
from.
it was going up, and then it just fell off a cliff. I don't even think he's the second best player on the Heat anymore.
Who do you have second?
My white boy, Tyler.
Oh no.
No,
Yeah, I would
love
have.
Tyler. Bro, you know what's crazy? Up until about 3 months ago or something, I hated Tyler Hero. I was a hater,
know,
dude.
now you just became a racist, bro. The John Morant thing changed you up.
No, he was a fuck it. Tyler Hero. I'll take Tyler Hero over John Morant. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Yeah, no, I don't see Tyler Hero being better than Bam, but
Tyler Hero should be on this list if we're being honest.
The sixth man?
He might have.
Overrated.
He might have. He's good enough to be a starter. He won sixth man because he chose to come off the bench or because he scored 20. But so my number 2 was Bam. Yours was who? Stuart, you said somebody caught a stray.
OG.
Okay, so Jerome, who's your number 2?
It's DeMar DeRozan.
Sure.
I mean,
he almost made.
Yeah. So
what?
Another regular season sweat, by the way.
Yeah, the whole season. I mean, he's an elite scorer. I'm not gonna lie. He's averaging like 28 on like above like +5 above league average efficiency. He was like that scoring wise, and his playmaking is like top 35 around that area or near the top 25 area. And he's a pretty good playmaker, but his defense is not good. Even though he might have been playing some of the best defense like played in a while, but it's still not great. And then in a playoff setting, he's not your guy. Like when you can't shoot the 3 effectively, or you're not a 3-level scorer and your only part of your game is mainly scoring, he's not effective. And it's just a problem. You saw against the Bucks, he had one good game and the rest were pretty bad. He got shut down, and it's like year after year, it's the same thing. So I don't think he's as elite as people say. So
right, and when Zach Levine is your second best player offensively, that is a huge green light. That is, I mean, a lot of teams in the NBA would take that, but it seems like when it comes playoff time, and Zach Levine's your number 2, and your number 1's a guy that's barely better than him, and he falls off. That's another. They're very limited with DeMar DeRozan being their number 1 on offense. I like that he made your list. He did not make mine though.
I didn't like it until you said the playoff thing. So Jerome did it again. Just the biggest analyst in hoops history. No argument for me. Trevor, it's time for your number 1.
Oh, y'all are gonna hate this. Are we sure that this guy is still a top 10 player in the NBA? Are we sure?
Is it Devin Booker?
No. What? Come on. Devin Booker. No, I'm just playing. He hasn't played over 60 games since 2016. Some by choice, some by injury. Are we sure he's still a top 10 player in the league? You know what I'm talking about?
Are you about to say Kawhi?
Huh?
Are you about to say Kawhi?
No.
Oh.
Who
are you talking about?
The Claw. Kawhi Leonard. He's not playing.
Yeah.
Tell me he's top 10.
But like when we last saw him, he was scoring at such an elite level. Like
when we last saw him, he was top 3.
Yeah.
Been a minute. Giannis, I would take over him for sure. Right. Jokic, Embiid, KD, Steph, Luka. And then he kind of filters in with guys like Jason Tatum, Jimmy. I'd probably take him over Jimmy Butler. But can we be so sure?
No, rap, zip him up. Notice how you didn't say LeBron. Notice how you didn't say LeBron in that whole list. Because you're done. Toast. Bye.
Put LeBron on the Clippers. Give LeBron Paul George and see what happens. Instead of Russell Westbrook. I'm not a guy that hates on Russ either, but
you did it. You did it to yourself right there.
Bro, it's 2022 and he hasn't played 60 games since 2016. And I'm not a guy to shit on playoff runs because everybody gets injured in the playoffs. Like, it's the playoffs. It's the Guys are playing their 100th game of the year. It is what it is, but it seems like a lot of his playoff runs have been due to injury, which is another guy on my list, Steph Curry's brother. But I'm going to say he's mildly overrated because I'm not sure he's still top 10. We're going to have to see. Hopefully he plays, or else we'll never know.
I don't like it.
I mean, I think you can say he's overrated, but like not top 10 is kind of crazy to me. He's still like an elite defender. I mean, even though it has fallen off a bit since like joining the Clippers, he's fallen off as a defender. But he was still scoring at such an elite level against like the Mavericks, and then the games before he got injured against the Jazz, he was popping off. I mean, like, and his playmaking has gotten better throughout the years too. So I don't really see him falling out of like
I
top
think
10. Or like top 5. I wouldn't say
like,
fall him off.
I'm not gonna sit here and argue because Kawhi was like, your point is Kawhi is injured, so we don't know. So like, fuck am I gonna say Kawhi's healthy? You know, like when we saw Kawhi hoop. Whatever you think it your way. But I mean, Kawhi Leonard.
I'm not going to sit here and say that if Kawhi Leonard played this year, he had a better year than Jason Tatum.
I fuck because a lot of people
we can even limit it to regular season.
The Vegas is saying the Clippers are the best team in basketball right now,
as they do every year.
Why is that? Because they have Kawhi fucking Leonard.
Yeah,
they have him. I mean, he's not playing, but they have him. Jerome, who's your number one?
All right. So, if you follow me on Twitter, I think you would probably guess who number one is. It's because I don't like this guy. I mean, so as a guy, I like him, but as a basketball player, fuck him. It's Jaylen Brown. Fuck Jaylen Brown. I think he is so massively overrated. People have him in the top 25. I don't think he's there. He's an elite defender. He's an elite finisher too, and slasher. But his playmaking is is so bad. It's bad. I can't even lie. His playmaking is bad. You see him just like in the playoffs, he was struggling with ball handling. Maybe that's because he had hand surgery at the beginning of the year. But I mean, he was still struggling with ball handling. He has tunnel vision a lot. He can't make great reads. I mean, I'm gonna tear into him. I don't think he was better than Jason Tatum in the finals. I think people are like overrating 23 points per game from Jaylen Brown in the finals on like mid efficiency. He wasn't a better defender than Tatum in the finals. He wasn't a better playmaker than Tatum in the finals. Tatum might have had turnover problems in the finals, but he was still like
Tatum was a very good playmaker in the finals. Yeah, especially when he had that horrible game where he had 11 assists in the second half. He changed his game at halftime, and that doesn't get enough love. That deserves, but not top 25. I might have to make a list for you, or I might have to see your list or something.
Trevor, I think you're with me in the liking Jaylen Brown, but I think you're also with me in the boat where I love hearing people slam Jaylen Brown just because it's so funny.
And he's a Celtic too, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not going to stick up for him.
He can't dribble. Like I'm not. I like Jaylen Brown, and I think I'm in the top 25 boat because, like you said, he's an elite defender, elite slasher. But hearing Jaylen Brown can't dribble makes me laugh every time. If we're being honest,
if he dribbles more than 3 times, you just got to start praying.
Dealing with Westbrook building a house my whole career, like it's great that like now we got Jaylen Brown can't dribble. So shout out Jaylen Brown. My number one is Rudy Gobert, and thank you guys for watching the Barely Hoops podcast.
Handle this, man.
Listen. And we saw it, both teams that made the finals. Defensive versatility is so much more important than being able to sit under the basket and hold your hands in the air.
Is versatile.
Is Robert Williams that versatile? I mean, if we can go watch back in the finals, he was getting cooked by players on the perimeter. I don't see it. He got one crazy block on Steph Curry in Game 6, and people went haywire. He is not doing. I mean, I don't see it.
Listen, the fact that you could start this man next to Al Horford, who is a good versatile player, but he's slow, it just shows his versatility. I mean, he's arguably as good of a rim protector as Rudy, and he's
Stop
10
it.
times more versatile.
Stop it. I don't even think he's more versatile than Rudy. Rudy is like, I mean, I don't want to rave about his defense. I do it too much, but I mean, like, he is so
That was the
long.
time. That's why I brought you
If you
here. I knew Dort was gonna have him as
if you
number one.
If you
I didn't know
stretch
you
him
were
out,
a Rudy fan, but we do this a lot. So we're not gonna hang this conversation. This is gonna last another 3-4 minutes tops. But
I mean,
Jerome.
okay, so the whole Rudy isn't versatile thing, fine. I can see how you say like he's like barbecue chicken when he's outside of the paint. But in all seriousness, when he gets blown by, he is so long and he's pretty fast at like recovering and getting back and blocking a shot from behind or moving his feet to stop someone from getting to the basket. So even if he's getting cooked on the perimeter, he's still there to stop someone at the basket because he's so long. And his rim protection, it's not even arguable with Robert Williams. You see, Rudy Gobert has led his teams with such bad defensive casts. Like, he's playing with Bojan Bogdanovic out there and Donovan Mitchell. He's not playing with good defenders, and he's anchoring some of the best defenses we've seen. So I don't see him as overrated. I think he gets a lot of slack for stuff that he does that people aren't understanding when he's out there. I mean,
do you think that Timberwolves are gonna be are a better defense than like what the Jazz had around them?
Barely.
Sorry, what?
Do you think the Timberwolves are a better defensive team than the Jazz were?
I mean, you put Jaden McDaniels on the overrated list right now, but Jaden McDaniels is a really good defender. I mean, really long.
I agree.
Really long. I think he'll help.
I don't think really good, but he's cool.
And I think D'Lo he's not like great, but he's smart. Like D'Lo is a smart team defender, so I don't see them as like a bad defensive team. And I think Cat gets better this year. Anthony Edwards can make that jump again. He was actually a pretty good defender this year. Cat as a help defender would be nice. So I think the team is actually going to be really good this year. I could see them in the finals. But that's just me.
So, okay, and that's where I was going. That's where I was going because when the Timberwolves get bounced out the first round and Rudy Gobert can't play again, then we can't have this conversation again because that's what Rudy is. That's what we see from Rudy every year, and we're gonna see it with another team. And I think this year is gonna prove my point. And if it doesn't prove my point, then y'all can do what you want. But I know where I stand on this.
We're gonna remember this in 7 months, 8 months.
And this is the long term, the overarching moment of this podcast right here. This is where it's all gonna come down to. If the Timberwolves make it out the first round this year, then y'all could shit on me. But if
what if they make it out the first round, but Rudy sucks? They're talented enough to make it out of the first round. They almost did.
No, they're not. I want my flowers. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, so if they make it out of the first round, it's because of Rudy?
Like, if he does good, yeah. But, I mean, that would be what it is. What do you want me to do if he has a bad series?
You said they weren't going to make it out of the first round without him.
I don't think so. But, like, if you're saying they somehow make it out the first round and Rudy does bad, why the fuck would I give that to Rudy?
Because you said they weren't going to do it without him. And all that, I mean, they got Rudy.
I don't think they are either way. So with or without Rudy, fuck it.
All-star, by the way. Top 4 center in the league, by the way.
Look. Lord, I just want to know what's your gripe with the Timberwolves team? Like, why won't Rudy Gobert fit with them that you think they won't be, that you'll think they'll be a first-round exit?
Listen, like we said, Rudy isn't versatile, or you might think he is, might think not, whatever, and neither is Cat. So who's gonna guard wings? Like as good as
Jaden.
Like if they go against the Celtics, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're trusting Jaylen Brown and Tatum versus McDaniels and Anthony Edwards. Or let me think of a West, like if they play LeBron, you're gonna put McDaniels on LeBron. Actually, didn't McDaniels guard LeBron good this year? in a regular season game.
Yeah,
I feel like
McDaniels is.
I feel
Yeah,
like
it did. I mean, McDaniels is like a really good defender. I trust him to make the leap, and Anthony Edwards is a really good defender as well. So, and you have the best rim protector in the league, protecting them. So if they get blown by, you just have Rudy Gobert there to just like block a shot, like a floater, or to deter a shot in the paint. So
But
I don't see there's problems
that's when the
defensively.
back cut comes in behind Cat, and you get the dump off easy legs.
That's fair. I mean,
Come on, man. I'm a hooper.
but I mean, Gobert is like he's smart. He'll know. I mean, he won't get it 100% of the time, but I mean, I think they're going to be a good defensive team. But that's me.
That's
And
me
the Jazz
too.
are gonna suck, dude.
It's gonna be fun though to watch Donovan Mitchell hoop, but time crunch, so let's call it here.
Let's do it. Jerome, we appreciate you coming on, joining us for our hater episode. Billy Dame on Twitter, give him some love, give him some discourse. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Beerly Hoops, at Beerly Sports. If you like football, follow us on Twitter at Beerly Football. We're doing some fantasy work right now. Weekly episodes just came back. Hockey, keep up with the off season. Follow us on Twitter at Beerly Hockey and MLB Baseball at Beerly Baseball. Dort, I saved a few for you. It's the year of the beer. Oh, Jerome, can you say it's the year of the beer? We usually do that with all you guys.
It's the year of the beer.
Excellence. Dort, send us home.
Listen, Discord. Find it in our YouTube comments and our link tree. We got all that. We also could read it on BeerlySports.com. We got our TikTok at Beerly Sports, YouTube, Beerly Sports, YouTube, YouTube.com/Beerly Sports. Boom. Bow. Fuck Beerly Baseball. We outside. Bitch, suck my dick. Boom, boom, boom.